Everything working? Okay. Greetings, my esteemed watchers, and welcome to another episode of Poison Points. I'm your host, just Irisu. No Neo, no Ludrium. Just me and you for today. How is everyone doing this fine afternoon? Well, I guess it's evening for those in the EST times. I'm hoping that everything is going through well because, well, I'm streaming on Twitter and on YouTube all the same. I have no idea how the Twitter will be working, but regardless, here we are. Welcome in, Natalia, Space Buffoons, Yes Spins, reading names really fast. Abysmal, Ash P, sorry for the Nightbot hit. Bizarro Craw, Muxie, Eva, I see you all down there. And it is a pleasure to see you all in chat today. Well, to meet with our cute little coyote. But before we do that, I have to do the normal thing and ask that if you are watching the stream, whether it be live or after the fact, subscribe or else. Oh, and like the video too. I guess you could do that. I happen to post random assortments of content talking about things that I find are very important. So if that's something that intrigues you and you want to hear my perhaps based opinion, then by all means, I encourage you to stick around for more moments like this. Yeah, hit the little bell icon. Thank you. So I've done Poison Points for a very long time. It's been almost 2 years, and I took a long break to figure out where I wanted to go with this. And I think that this is to stay. I have I believe two interviews that I have still yet to upload that were done offline. So if you are expecting like some continuity in some way, I do apologize. These questions that will be coming out will be a little out of order. Regardless, I still hope that you can enjoy it. Like, share, subscribe, sacrifice to your firstborn. Yes, exactly. Listen, I could be very persuasive. You like women with glowing eyes? Well, I have zero idea what segue means. I think it's something that you ride. So, without further ado, allow me the opportunity to introduce our guest for today. As my arms fuck up. It wouldn't be an Iris stream if it wasn't with that. Let me introduce to you today Chizz Coyote. That I did not unmute her. Hello, Chizz. I also double did not unmute you because, listen, I'm a professional streamer. And when you're a professional like I am, the small things become a lot less important. And yeah, we get stuff like this.
Totally understandable.
Well, Chizz, thank you for heeding the call. I'm also realizing that I'm going to eat my Sennheiser 416, which is right in front of my face. Thank you for joining me today on the Poison Points podcast, but live yet again.
Of course.
How are you doing this fine week and / or weekend for you?
Doing great. Doing great. Dawn Trail just came out. Totally haven't played any of it at all, really, though.
Yeah, my eyes have been on other games. How's Dawn Trail looking to you?
Well, it looks pretty cool. I'm interested in the story. A voice actress that I'm really interested in is a main character in it in the new expansion, and I think that's really cool. And so that's what I'm most excited about.
Natalia is doing her best, it seems, to get you into it.
Yes.
Are your eyes set on other games at the moment? Is that why it's been a bit of a rough patch?
No, I just don't know how to rest. I don't know how to turn off work, and I get in the MMO and I'm like, this feels like work.
Don't I understand that? Well, Chizz, why don't we start by, well, fully introducing you. What is it that you do as a content creator?
Well, I am Chizz Coyote. I am an occult club president at my school. And I am also, quote, secretly a monster girl that is under constant security and containment procedures.
Okay, very intriguing. And I'm sure I will have plenty of questions for you later, but just to be double safe, we can find you almost everywhere at Chizu Coyote, yes? And that's how you say it, right? It's not
Yes.
Coyote. I've just been so used to the Japanification. Oh, arms.
I say coyote, but like it's coyote. It's coyote. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay, wonderful. So everyone can find you at Chizu Coyote, but with Coyote with a K.
Yes. On Twitch, it's Chizu_coyote, though.
Okay, because the pesky names will take over your soul if they aren't exactly perfect.
For real.
So, the last time that I interviewed someone, she left you a question. This comes from someone named Creepshow, and it is a tradition on this channel to pay one question forward at a time. So, she left me with milk first or cereal first. That's it, directly. That is all she told me.
Depends on the cereal.
You want to...
Cereal, usually it's cereal first, okay? Usually it's cereal first.
Okay.
But put the milk first in for something like, I don't know, Cocoa Pebbles, then it makes it chocolatier faster.
This is true. As someone who is not an enjoyer of cereal at all, absolutely zero. I love experiencing through osmosis how people eat their cereal.
I mean, sometimes you just go in and eat it dry, just raw dog it, you know?
Because I know this question's going to be coming up from a certain clown in chat, do you use a fork or a spoon?
For cereal?
For cereal, yes.
A spoon. I use a big spoon.
Does something off-put you about using a fork?
I mean, if you were eating Cocoa Puffs, it wouldn't make sense. You would have to let it get soggy to use a fork to eat that, right? That's crazy.
So, Buffy asked this question quite a bit. It was a hot topic for a long time because, they eat their cereal with a fork. Because they like to, it's moist, whatever they're eating, but all of the liquid drips out. Man, you could take this out of context, I suppose. And you eat it soggy, and then you drink the milk as its own like amalgamation afterwards.
That's, you know what? I'm not gonna yuck anyone's yum. That's no way, not for me. Soggy, no way. I'm out.
Poor little Buffy. What I always say is neither. Because I do not eat cereal, so I will never experience that dilemma or moral quandary, I guess you could say, of using either or. So, I've restructured my normal interview. So whatever you were practicing for is going to be a little bit different today, and I'm hoping to be a little bit more controversial, as it were.
Ooh.
So we'll see how you enjoy letting loose a bit, if that is what you so desire.
Cool, okay.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
I can get loose. Do I have a celebrity crush?
Mm-hmm.
So many.
Give me your top. Number one.
Let's see. Oh, wow. Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver.
He's a good one. Yes.
Ooh. Dang. That's all that comes to mind right now. I'm sure there's more.
I asked this question because growing up, I never really had a celebrity crush. And it wasn't until recent years where I eventually developed one. And I get judged quite a bit for this. I'm a big fan of Hugh Laurie, aka Dr. House from the show House MD. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but there's something about his charm and the wiles of his ways that makes my heart aflutter. And he's also a great singer. I listen to his music all the time. He has his own band.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
he is the full blues jazz band that he is that participates in. So everyone gets weirded out because they watch the House TV show and they're like, "Wow, this guy's an asshole." But I've got
I've seen some of his British comedy.
oh
Like
yeah,
I know he's got a little bit more range than that.
yeah, he
So I
has a
get it.
band.
I get it.
Yeah, he makes my heart aflutter, and I would love to someday meet with him. And I want him to talk to me in every range of accent possible. And I will gush and sit there the entire time, and we will never progress with the interview. But today, I do have you with me, and we are going to, well, put you in the hot seat today. So I always ask this. This is my series of questions that I call icebreakers because I'm going to break you down like ice.
Okay, I'm ready.
We know where the coyote comes from. It is obviously coyote. Where does
Mhm.
Chizu come from as far as your naming goes?
So the months leading up to me starting up the Chizu show, I was thinking up designs for the character and lore and things like that. I was trying to come up with a name, and I was people who don't know this might be a little surprised. I was going for like an adventurer kind of vibe at first.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't last very long, but um, the name Chizu means map, right?
Okay.
Like, exploring, traveling the world and all that stuff. I eventually tied that into my lore later, but that's where that came from.
Okay. So does that like come into play normally for you at all? So like not to be too literal, of course, but like being the map coyote.
I get lost in video games a lot, so it's kind of funny now.
The sweet irony of the situation.
Yes, I get lost quite often.
Hey, at least, it works together to form a cohesive narrative, if you would put it that way. And you make a great wordplay on Chizu. You have Chizz, which I think is really cute, and I'm trying to think of all your redeems. My apologies. It blanks out right when I need it the most. Say Chizu. Like all of this stuff really works together, and I really do think you have a very cohesive brand that honestly very recognizable from extremely far away. If I was to look and hear your name, I would know exactly who you are. Okay.
Yeah.
So, to talk about the coyote stuff, I've seen many wolves and other variations of dogs, but I don't think I've ever seen. I don't want to say coyote. I've never seen a coyote VTuber. So
All
why did you
right.
decide to go with being a coyote?
So I was like, let's try let's try an animal, right?
Hmm.
Animals are cute. People like animals. That's cool. But what would represent the type of person I am as a creator? So I may have taken one of those, what animal are you? What would your persona be? That sort of stuff. And it all pointed to dog. It always kept pointing to dog. And I'm like, I don't quite feel like that. What's adjacent to dogs? And of course, there's wolves. But I thought about coyotes. Coyotes are a very North American thing,
Hmm.
right? And especially in like Midwestern and Southern areas, there's a higher population. People have different ways of saying it. It's connected to that kind of lifestyle. Like farmers talk about coyotes. You can hear them out in the middle of the night. They're very loud. They're ornery. They come and get your chickens, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, that sounds about right. That sounds good.
They're also a lot smaller than a normal wolf and yappier.
Yes, they're smaller. That is true.
So you felt like you connected, as far as like the VTuber animal connection, it was coyotes for you.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
You got that dog in you, if it were.
I do. I got that dog in me.
And what was it, taking an even further step back before you came up with the name? Why did you become a VTuber in the first place?
We so I mean, I've been involved with content creation in some way for honestly most of my life. On a super tiny scale of just like making stuff to make me and my friends laugh at school, making silly videos on the internet, and stuff like that. Evolved into like doing some YouTube projects with some friends. Eventually, I did some face cam streaming at some point. Um, and then, I had a big life change. So cam streaming was not really the same.
Mm-hmm.
And, VTubing was a thing that was starting to become a little bit more mainstream. And I looked into it and I thought that it was a good way to express myself and connect with more people as a content creator.
Okay. Did you have a starting point? Like a one person that you saw that you were like, I kind of want to do this because they do it so well?
Um, Originally there was honestly there was a lion kind of VTuber, very Squall from Final Fantasy VIII coded. Gosh, I can't even remember her name. That was my first entry. Someone was like, you should check this person out. And they have like resources on how to do this stuff yourself. And so I started looking more into it. I watched a lot of Maury Calliope during that time.
Okay.
And that was my first introduction to VTubing as a medium.
And it kind of just branched out from there. You wanted to try
Yes.
something
Yeah.
new, and was it one of those things that was like, I can be anonymously unanonymous for myself?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah.
I've had a lot of talks and discussions with, well, a lot of other people about why they became VTubers. And I've had to stop myself every single time because I say the same goddamn thing every time. Um, the gateway drug into VTubing is other VTubers. They kind of like suck you in. And
It's true.
I mean,
That's
I've
true.
seen it happen in your chat. Someone will join in and say, oh, I want to be a VTuber now. Or my chats, I've had the same thing happen. I've had people just start and maybe they'll follow through, maybe they won't, but it's an exploratory thing. It could be very fun to try out.
Like a disease.
Yeah, it is the disease, yes.
Contagious.
Yeah, probably. Actually, I don't want to say it's worse than drugs because you could spend as much money as you want on it, and technically you don't get anything, or you could spend zero and you're good. Draw a little stick man, and you're good with yourself.
True. That's true.
So, you mentioned that you were a previous content creator. What have you taken from that and applied to your present day self as far as how you stream and conduct yourself?
Almost nothing.
It's a complete disconnect.
It is a complete disconnect. When I started planning for this, I went back to the drawing board completely and Gosh, I'm like personally a completely different person already, but in terms of content creation too, I just have a different philosophy. My process is completely different. So
Mhm.
like I almost took nothing from my previous experience.
You have like the basic editing skills, and that was it. And now you've all expanded upon it so much that it's hardly ever the same as what you used to do.
Well, yeah, I guess to be fair, I can't say nothing. You're right. I mean, I do have a collection of skills that I have built up over time
Hmm.
that don't have to do with the branding or even the performance of what I do. Um, but it's I'm way better at those things than I ever was
Hmm.
before this project.
Oh yeah, there's a wisdom that comes with many years of trial and error, and then when you change it up, you get another slate to start with and grow even further. And so you stop looking at what you started with. At least that's how I did it. I don't know if this is the same for you. Um, I've come from also a very similar background of previous content creation, but uh, I'm curious for you, through your experience, what advice would you give to an aspiring content creator? I've broken her.
It's good to follow people's advice.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's better to follow your instincts
So your
because if
advice
you
is to not follow your advice.
kinda, it's like if you were doing a lot of things because a lot of other people say you should do those things and it doesn't really feel right for you, there's a chance it's not going to work,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, the modicum hundreds upon thousands of videos that you see on the internet of 10 things to do as a content creator, 10 things to do as a streamer, 10 things to do as this, 10 don'ts. And then you're like going through these exhaustive lists, and all of a sudden you're so piled up and you don't have a life anymore because they don't talk about the life aspect of things. At
Oh
least
yeah, absolutely.
that's how I've felt about it for a long time. I know you work extremely hard, and I will never
Yeah, I
ever.
work too much.
Yeah, I'm in the mindset. Originally, I was in the mindset of like take a break, slow down. But for some people, uh, they have a very specific amount of steam, and they can burn like they will net a certain amount of energy. So there's not really any burnout, and there's never really any you're too tired to do anything. So I appreciate those types of people, and from what I can tell, you do an extremely good job at well everything, from the editing to how you keep up on social media, and of course how you handle your streams. Um, with all of that said, your advice is like a do and a don't. What is the number one thing you would tell people to avoid doing when they first start?
Ooh, if you want to build a brand for a specific thing like Twitch, don't put too much energy into platforms like Twitter unless you're posting stuff that is about your Twitch, right?
Okay.
Like, yes, it's good to have a ton of people following you on a platform like Twitter to see who you are and what your opinions are and what your takes are about certain things. But if you build an audience like that on Twitter, it's not really going to convert to people that are dedicated to coming to your streams. Almost like networking is important, but building an audience of other VTubers isn't going to build up your Twitch because they're going to be too busy doing their VTubing to watch you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's but it's again it's what you it depends on what you want to do.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like there's no like universal rule for these things. It's all about what you want out of it.
Mhm. I mean, my existence exists entirely to talk to other VTubers. So I have an extensive network, but at the same time, I've for myself explored other avenues. So it took me a while to get where I was going. Um, how has the journey been for you?
Um, Journey in terms of what?
So, from the moment that you decided to start until today, have you felt that what you have been doing is on track to success?
Mostly, yes. Mostly. It was really scary in the beginning. I spent months before my first stream getting ready. In the week leading up to my first stream, I went crazy on social media, posting a lot of memes and stuff. And from my first stream on, things have been pretty good. I don't really know how to say if it's on track or not,
Mhm.
though, because everybody's, your mileage may vary. Everybody's journey is different. Um, so I guess I'm where I'm supposed to be on my journey. Trying to compare that to other people's timelines wouldn't really make sense.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't expect an answer that is true, for you yet. You can have any amount of confidence that you want to have. Any goal setting is entirely up to you, and I think that's true for all content creators out there. I was just curious if you felt that what you do is what's the word? Fulfilling to you.
Ooh. Yeah, I think so. I find a lot of joy in uh making the things I do and seeing people's reactions to the things I make and building community and interacting with that community. Um it I mean, it means everything to me. It's awesome. It's amazing. I'm very happy with all of that. Yeah.
Okay. I I'm sorry if it feels like a trick question or like a trap question where it's like, no, I'm actually not happy with myself. And wow, well, that's awkward. I was just curious, the controversy.
The controversy.
Yes. And speaking of controversy, how do you feel about the current state of VTubing as a content medium?
There is a reputation for VTubers outside of VTubing
Mm-hmm.
that is getting better. It's definitely getting better. I mean, there was a Gura collaboration with a baseball team.
Yeah, I did see
Or
that.
that's that's crazy to me, but that's really good. That's good. That means it's becoming more mainstream and there's better opinions about VTubers in general. Um, Gosh. But there is also a bad side. There's a lot of stuff people talk about on social media about VTubers, and there's there's periods of time that are sometimes months long where there's just quote drama happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's getting canceled, somebody's getting exposed for something, there's a graduation, there's somebody got fired, all this crazy stuff all the time. And it moves so fast. When you're paying attention to that stuff all the time, it's hard to see the good stuff. And that's
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate.
Do you feel as
But
though the other half of it, though, the parts that you've not mentioned, outweigh the negatives in the community?
I don't think so. Like people's perception of it might be that way because, if somebody says one negative thing to you after somebody said several other people said something nice, that one negative comment is psychologically just going to stick with you a little harder,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's easier to get caught up in that and be like, all this stuff always happens all the time with VTubers. It's a lot easier to get stuck in that mindset, but there's I don't think it's possible to know every VTuber. Like you're a VTuber, name every other VTuber, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not possible. There's so many VTubers out there that are doing really good positive things, and social media just likes to push negative stuff a little bit harder, so you see that more often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the whatever news outlets that we do have as far as coverage for VTubers, even the ones that are outside, I think of Dexerto covering some things as well, the whatever Twitter news column page that is. Uh, the thing that always comes to mind for me, um, I think of the one time that Pippa said that you should always have something going on, even if it's positive or negative, have those eyes on you. And I think that a lot of people misinterpreted what she said, because a lot of people do listen to Pippa. Um, if you're a Pippa fan, I'm sorry, but
No, you're fine.
I see a lot of people who start shit and they don't know how to gracefully end it. And they think that that's the only fast track to success. So we have this, like you said, even if it was like a 60-40, so 60 positive, 40 negative, there's so much to make up for. You need so much more positivity to overwhelm that negativity. Do you feel like you have a strong community at your back that supports you and your decisions that you've made?
Yeah, I do. I 100% do. I definitely feel like my community's got my back, and like I've cultivated it to the point where it's I don't see any I don't feel any of that negative stuff about that.
Hmm.
They're behind me.
Oh yeah. Stand 411 proud and move beyond. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah, vote for Chizu. Now, I will say, I absolutely adore your voice. It is music to
Aw.
my ears, and it's like one of those things that I think about a lot because you are openly transgender. Um,
Yeah.
how has that journey been for you in tandem with being a VTuber?
It's been mostly positive actually. So when I first started this stuff, I was worried about my voice for two reasons.
Hmm.
One was for privacy, because past life stuff on the internet, that stuff never goes away. And then the other one was because I felt like my voice was a little too, to be honest, masculine for this character that I wanted to
Hmm.
portray. And so I used tools to modify the way my voice sounded, and that was an okay choice in the beginning. Um, but over time, it was important for me to do something about the way I sound for real, because I was asked by someone close to me, like, maybe we could go to Offkai, right? Maybe we could
Hmm.
go to this convention. I was like, well, people that know me don't know this voice. They don't know that. They don't know the person behind the cartoon character. And that made me feel not the best. And while it probably wouldn't have been a big deal for me to not do anything about it, it going to the convention, the idea of that did push me to do something about it. And I was very public about getting voice training and stuff like that. And I, over time, lowered um, lowered the effect on my voice.
Hmm.
Because like
I used to sound like this when I would
Hmm.
make content.
that's the voice I always heard when I edited my videos. So over time, I had to get used to that. It kind of did mess with my head a little bit, my emotions, but I trusted my community. I had a voice reveal stream. It was very successful. And while I might get some comments about, you sound different, or like, you know, the transphobic comment here or there, it's been a pretty positive experience.
Okay. Oh, I'm lagging. Help. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I really do adore your voice. And see, I was first introduced to you via Pinch. It was the world's most obnoxious guest at a restaurant TikTok. And I absolutely adore that.
Yeah, that was good. That was
and of course, you were invited onto OST, and I was like, I was always watching from a distance, as I do, you know. Don't blink, keep looking right up here. And I was like, I mean, she's too cool for me. I want to talk so badly, but I'm afraid.
Aw.
No, I have this happen all the time where I really psych up. Like I really want to have them on my show, but I can't do it. They're too cool for me. But now here we are. Now you're sitting in front of me against your will, because the moment you said yes, it was a contract. So so overall, you know, we, as a fellow trans creator, we always get those comments. There's always someone ignorant for the sake of being ignorant. But overall, you would say that the vibe has been very positive. Or not vibe, but reception has been positive for you.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. People are really supportive of me, and I was worried about it at first, because like in the past, before all this, I was a lot louder about it. I was an advocate for a lot of things, and that's not really something I'm equipped for. And I made sure, like, I was open about it, but not like I didn't talk about it really that often. So, I mean, it's there, it's part of who I am. And it, you know, just having that there, like that weeds out some people from my community that wouldn't be very supportive. So the people that are still with me are really cool, really chill people.
And then nowadays, you see anything like that in chat, it just immediately gets shunted away by a wave of support, and they're like, "Yeah, fuck you." And then that was my favorite.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing. I was so scared when I first started that, oh, I'm gonna have to be rough and tumble and deal with these bots myself and take care of everything. And first thing is just, you know, somebody said something negative, and whoever it was, mods instantly on the case, and it felt empowering to have a community like that at your back. I have to ask this question. This is a question I always ask because it has me curious. If you were not a coyote girl, what would you be instead?
Oh, goodness. I mean, I guess I will also tie in the gazer part of this, because I'm a secret monster girl too. I would definitely still be something that is implied to be evil, implied to be scary and villainous. Definitely. That is, I can't escape it. I tried to just be a little adventure coyote, and it's like, no, that's not enough. That's not who I am. Like, I always have this connection with characters that are misunderstood. The coyote, though, also is, I feel, a little misunderstood, right? People think they're bad, and they come and eat their livestock and do all this stuff. And, you know, the wolves pushed them out of the woods. They were bullied, and now they're out here in the city trying to survive. And everybody's like, oh, these darn coyotes. It's that sort of thing. It's like, monsters are evil. This is that, and all this other stuff. When really they're just
Motivated.
I mean, the characters are like relatable. They're like you and me. They're not. Well, they're like people in chat. Just whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've come across many amalgamations of my own self that if I told you what I was based off of, I don't think anybody could tie that back because I've changed so much since then. Previously, Poison Dart Frog, still am Poison Dart Frog, but it's okay. Nobody needs to know. I'll just give them a massage and make sure that they can't move anymore after a little bit. These aren't gloves, by the way. This is what my friends call vaporacy, because the person who worked on one of my first models was Pinch, and they coined the term by having like actually black hands that are like pitch dark, and I thought that was really cool. So it has survived until this very day. And finally, at least as far as this segment goes, what does it mean for you to be Chizz?
So, when I first started this project, I wanted a complete disconnect between my content creation and my personal me, like who I am behind this. And that was rough. Being Chizz was like, and has been like a good experience. And I feel like I am putting like my best self forward there. And while I am kind of open about things that are personal, I still keep a lot of who I am behind that to myself. But I was really extreme about it before. I didn't get very close to people that I met as Chizz. Like I was friends and I would network and collab and stuff, but beyond that, I didn't want to talk about things that were too personal. And that's hard because I'm a person that doesn't touch grass very much. So I don't have a lot of that kind of didn't have a lot of that kind of connection outside of VTubing. And over time, I've softened up on that a little bit, quite a bit actually. So while I still think Chizz is separate from me in a lot of ways, I feel more like Chizz is me than I used to.
Okay.
And yeah.
And that's why we're here today. You've opened up enough to tell me all your secrets. And those are the types of people that I like to have on this podcast because I firmly believe that character lore and what you present yourself as are intrinsically intertwined. Even if there is some degree of separation, it's still you. There's a part of you that is always flowing into what you've created because we are moving creations of content, an expression of ourselves. So now that you have answered all of these preliminary questions so that I may bind you to the truth, despite wherever you may be, I need to know what secrets hide behind the Coyote Girl.
That's such a broad question.
I asked that so straightforwardly, like, oh yes, you are going to tell me everything that you wish to know, or that I wish to know.
You asked it in such a way. I got to tell you all of my secrets now.
Mm-hmm. This is me being kind. So tell me about your lore. You are a coyote girl who is the head of the Occult Club. But, I mean, we'll start with the brooch. Why is there a moving eyeball?
That is just because it looks cool. But like, I have lots of eyeballs
Yeah.
You know, I have eyeballs everywhere. I got eyes everywhere.
So, in a way, are you Eldritch? Is that a fine descriptor for you?
So kind of. Gazers are like, so let's go back to beholders, right? Let's start with beholders.
Mm-hmm.
Beholders are creations of other beholders. They dream of a beholder and then poof, they're created. Gazers are also created by beholders, but they're like lesser, quote, forms of like, are they abyssal creatures? They're they're
My D&D knowledge
related
is
to
failing
Eldritch
me.
stuff. They're related loosely to eldritch beings. I am not like an eldritch god or anything like that. I'm just a little monster. I'm just a little monster.
Okay. Aberrations. There we go. Thank you, Natalia.
Aberration. There you
So,
go.
can you still dream things into existence, or is that a power that is more for the upper kin?
Yeah, I can't do that, but I can affect people's perception. I can't make
Okay.
things real. I can just make people think things are real.
Okay. So a bit of an illusion at work, but in the
Yeah.
truest of senses. So, is what we see in front of us the real you or an altered perception?
Both.
Yes.
Both. Both. Like this is me, but it's also not me. Like normally I'm like this, you know, sharp teeth, pale skin, scary, blah. But some people are really into that. This is cuter. This is cuter. And it's lore. The lore reason for that is because I wanted to, when I was a little kid, my dad would travel with me, and I wanted to be less scary to other people and him. And he really liked coyotes. So I thought, why not look like a coyote? And so I look kind of like a coyote now.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm also people. I enjoy all of these forms. A bit of a I wanted to say a freak myself, but I don't know. If you could see that in a way that is like, oh yeah, I am a freak. I'm freaky. Then definitely.
I vibe with that. Yeah.
how have you how have you come to the point where you are in charge of the occult club?
I started it and got some people to sign the charter thing, and school lets me have it. That's about it.
Simple as okay. I mean, you mentioned previously that something there's like a bit of containment in the works right now.
Yes. So my bio mom is a monster. Um, my dad used to travel. My current mom, my adoptive mom, convinced my dad to let her adopt me to keep everyone safe. And I've been in containment ever since. And I am allowed to leave containment to do things like go to the occult club, go to school, go to the store, whatever. But if I do that, I have to have security with me.
What kind of security?
So there's one coyote control officer, and then two that are in plain clothes that I don't know are coyote control officers at all times,
Wink,
unless I'm with my
wink.
mom. If I'm with my mom, it's just my mom.
Okay. I mean, with all of this protection, or I guess preventation of you going off and doing your own thing, what would happen if someone were, say, to let you go on your own?
It would be A lot of fun, but a lot of danger for humans as a whole.
I mean, what do you do? Like, do you eat them, torment them? Like, what are we dealing with here?
I have this thing called passive Riz. It causes way too many problems, so I gotta stay inside.
So what we're looking at is a pass without trace, but it's for your charisma stats. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
pretty much.
Live Osaka reaction too.
Whoa! Let me turn that off. That's crazy.
It's okay. What we're seeing right now, it's not really a door. Like, you were just sitting in front of your computer in the Occult Club. Wink, wink. And
Yes.
and I'm
absolutely.
here in my studio. We are worlds apart. You know, we got great internet and Wi-Fi in order to do this. So, all right. And do you, if you were to try to escape, like if you decided that you wanted to, do you think you could? Like, do you think that
Oh, I do it all the time.
Okay, I was gonna say, like,
I escape all the time.
too hard to
all the time.
catch.
Yeah, I'm elusive, but it's become more difficult every time. Every time the security protocols get like crazier and crazier, and it's more difficult to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But I still do sometimes.
Do you have any innate magic that you have that allows the escape, that you're just kind of use a little bit of tricks here and there?
Well, the people that become CCOs have a resistance, right? They can't just be rizzed. So it takes time, and now they're on rotation, so I can't do it that way anymore.
And they're
So yeah,
stopping
I
him
have
with
this
counter
enchanting
spells.
power. No. And I mean, I have other stuff I can use, but it's not as fun because it hurts people. I don't want to do that. I don't want to shock people or whatever with my eye beams.
Oh yeah. Those will do it. Do you have all of the normal beholder eye powers? Do you have a little bit less?
I have less powers.
What is it that you don't have? Is it the ray of
I can't
disintegration?
disintegrate.
I was just about to say that is the
Can't do
iconic beholder.
Probably good that I can't do that. Can't be trusted with that kind of power.
Some people mention that you have 4 ghosts that accompany you. Tell me about these ghosts.
So I don't know what it is about me. It's kind of an anomaly, but if I stay somewhere too long, I attract ghosts. And maybe that's just a side effect of the passive Riz, but if I stay somewhere too long, it'll become haunted, right? My first containment was in the Appalachian Mountains, okay? And they didn't know this about me yet. And now there's all kinds of scary stuff out in those woods because of that.
Oh. And you're fine here, though? Like, it's okay here? Or...
Yeah. I just got a few ghosts that hang around the club room now. They're pretty chill.
Okay, just chilling, vibing with you, having a good time.
Yeah.
Do they... Like, you have the club. Obviously, people stop on by. Otherwise, I don't think you can keep it open. I guess that's the standard nowadays. So do the ghosts torment anybody? Is everyone there? Like, they're aware? Or is it kind of like they just think it's a you thing?
Sometimes they do jump scares at people and they play pranks, but mostly they just like to have fun and hang around and watch whatever everybody else is doing and all that. They just kind of chill out.
And your fellow club members they're definitely affected by the Riz, right? The passive Riz.
Absolutely. Totally. 100%.
I mean, I see a couple of them here in chat today, so I would assume. All right. So that is all those questions that I have for you, which means it's time for my favorite segment, the hypothetical, theoretical question. These are questions that are asked in a Discord. Definitely was mine. And they have a lot of, they've got a very specific theme. They usually have a start, but no defining end. And I love asking these questions because it frustrates people. And I'm a frustrating and toxic person. So
Okay.
this one does come from somebody, but I will withhold their name until you've answered the question. Hypothetically, theoretically, there is a trolley, a split track, and a lever. Nobody is tied to the tracks. But if you pull the lever, you could add people to them and create a trolley problem. Would you pull the lever?
Oh, this sounds like one of those, oh gosh, the opportunity here to finally get revenge. No. I don't think I would. I don't think I would do that. No.
So you would not pull the lever.
Well, now that I'm thinking about it, there might be some utility here. But I think I'm just going to stick with my answer and say no. I don't think I would do that. I don't think I would do that.
The meta trolley. Okay. I really like this one because what does it imply? What is the problem? Is it a problem that you choose, or is it a random one that you no longer have the ability to change after it started?
I didn't think about that.
Can you double it and give it to the next person, right? Like somebody else could deal with that lever.
You know what? Yeah, I'll let that be someone else's responsibility.
To tack on to that, if you walk away from the lever, but obviously that lever is not going to move, would you let somebody else go and pull it, or would you put signage up to don't pull this lever out of order?
Nah, I would just let it be someone else's problem. It's like,
Okay.
once you get into that, it's like, can I break it? Would it be a good idea to break it? If I use it, does that mean no one else can use it? Can I use it more than once? That's too much. That's too much. I would just walk away.
Too much responsibility. You basically you're exercising restraint when you answer it this way.
Yeah.
Despite how much you really want to, you will hold back for now. Okay. Well, I like this. That brings me to my big three questions. These are, well, I asked these before stream because they are a big thinking. They make you think quite a bit. And I don't want you to be sitting here put on the spot for these ones in particular. Obviously, when we started the stream, we asked a question from Creepshow, and I am here to ask you to pay that question forward. So without knowing who they are, what would you ask the next interviewee? Or I guess like to ask.
If you had to make a 4-hour YouTube essay, what would it be about and why?
Oh, goodness. Can you answer this?
I can, but it's okay. I've thought about this a lot because this is definitely not my style. But there was a time in my life where I wanted to make a video that was about a very specific theoretical thing that had to do with psychology, right?
Okay.
And it's like, I wanted to make a video, I wanted to write a video essay about a theoretical spectrum model of plurality. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot in a little sentence, right? I feel like it would take 4 hours to explain what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it for that if that ever happens instead of trying to explain it now.
Okay. Are you But you have the word. Oh my God, Kat! Thank you for walking right in front of me. If you do you have anything written down for it now? Is that or is it
I had
a
written
in your
down
brain?
it's in my brain. I had written down some notes a long time ago and I was like, I'm going to do this. And it's definitely not something I'm super into doing right now.
I see. Yeah,
But
you've
it's
got
still
so
there.
much to do. You have so much on your plate. Also, I apologize. Sorry, everybody in chat. Nightbot will be smitten down, not smitten in love, smitten down and destroyed.
What the heck, Nightbot?
I apologize. This is I actually just threw it on just in case we got anybody bad, and oh my goodness. All right, next question. Where do you want to be in 5 years? Or even more simply, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Financially stable.
Oh, yeah,
But
you've
seriously,
answered for everybody.
seriously though, like, um, because of some interesting comments recently about my voice, I have looked into starting the process of becoming a voice actor. And while I'm just getting some coaching and some study and some workshops and things like that right now, I think it would be really cool in 5 years to have a body of work I can look back on fondly. I
Mhm.
still want to be a VTuber. I don't see that going away at all. Um, I see myself still nurturing friendships that I'm starting now, new ones in the
Mhm.
future. Um, and maybe coaching other people in skills that I've built up until now or ones that I'm continuing to improve upon. To rising tides and all that. I don't know how that saying goes.
Mhm. Do you have any dream positions as far as those roles come into play?
um in terms of voice acting, absolutely. I want to be in Persona 6. Is
Ooh.
that going to happen? I don't know, but it would be cool.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't they have what's it called? They have an in between title at the moment that I cannot remember the name of. It's not Shin Megami Tensei, and it's not Persona.
Portazio or something. I forgot
Yeah,
what
I
it's
think so.
called.
Yeah. So there is a chance. You never know. You just got to market yourself. Just become best friends with everyone on the team,
Yes,
ingrain
absolutely.
yourself. Listen, the passive Chizz, as we'll call it, is
Okay.
it is very powerful. Yeah, would love to see Chizz in Persona. I okay. This is something that came up today, um, and I've been thinking about this for a long time. Sorry to go off topic a little bit.
It's fine.
I've seen a lot of talk about there's this whole video essay talking about uh celebrities in terms of voice acting. Like we'll plaster that this celebrity is this character and this celebrity is that. Um, but in a lot of current roles that I've seen a lot more like indie people pop out. If you had the chance to take an indie role like that, would you snatch it up immediately, or is that something that you would like to sit on and marinate on before you make that decision?
When you say indie role, what do you mean?
So obviously, in this hypothetical theoretical part two, uh, let's say it is like a dream role. Like it's not exactly what you want, but it's got everything that you would like in a character to portray. Um, would you snatch it up right away, immediately, or is that something that you would like to wait on?
I would try to snatch it up. I mean, like, if there's something that looks like it would be fun to work on in terms of the character's personality and all that, yeah, absolutely. Like,
Okay,
yes.
it may seem like an obvious question, but like I don't know. There's something that I like to refer to as the what's the word I'm looking for? It's the Walmart enthusiasm. And I know what that sounds like, but if you want to work at Walmart because you don't have any other job, you may lie to get yourself in, because their screening process does look for very specific answers.
Yes.
I have lied in my past experiences with jobs and have been way, way too underqualified to be in where I was, but I still made it work. So I see. Okay. Final question that I have for you today. This is my big doozy. You suddenly find yourself at a bus stop, and standing next to you is someone that you recognize. It's a much younger version of you, but they don't recognize you. Without revealing who you are, what advice would you give to yourself to help guide them a little bit better through life?
I would say don't give up. It gets better. Even when it seems impossible to believe that, remain strong so you can see what's on the other side. It's worth the wait.
And you hop onto the bus and drive off. Or I guess they
Yep.
hop onto the bus. I don't know who would go first in this scenario. You both hop on. It's really awkward now because you said
Yeah,
goodbye.
it's really awkward. It's like,
Well, Chizz, that is all that I have for today. Thank you for joining me for this little silly incursion, this tiny little interrogation, if you will. Is there
of course. Thank you
anything?
for having me.
Of course, I've been looking forward to having you on for a long time, and I look forward to see what you do with your career because I see a lot of budding potential, and I feel like any moment, any one of these days, it could come bursting forth.
That's scary.
Hey, listen, it's always terrifying, but I think you have what it takes in order to grow. So, with that being said, what are you working on that you can reveal to us today? The upcoming events. Yeah, that word.
I don't have any dates set for anything yet, but I have a plan for a subathon at some point this summer to help fund stocking merchandise with a merchandise partner and then having a big concert for the merch drop. And
Okay.
maybe some song releases, like song cover releases, music videos and stuff too.
Can we get the Chizu Yankee with no brim?
Yankee with no brim. Oh my gosh.
Sorry, it was the first thing that came to my mind. I am incredibly brain rotted. Um,
No hats.
no hats, no hats. Show off those ears
hats, yeah.
loud and proud.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Now I gotta make the Chizu Yankee with no brim. I'm sorry for the type of person that I am. I am what I like to refer
No,
to
don't
as
apologize.
I'm toxic and sweet. That's just the way it is.
Perfect. That's perfect.
And obviously, as far as your schedules go, this is the last day of the week for you. What do you have upcoming for the next week that you're willing to share with everybody else?
The next stream that I have will be on Friday at the usual time, 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be playing a visual novel, an indie visual novel called The Final Prize is Soup.
Okay. I wonder what the final prize is. Makes me curious.
I don't know, but I know it has to do with Yuri. The soup is Yuri.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. I understand. As a Yuri myself, I totally get it. All right, well, everybody, you can find Chizu. I have actually a command for this now. That's why I got Nightbot in the first place. of course, if you are here just stopping on in and you've never seen Chizz before, there we are, Nightbot. Thank you.
Nice.
I was about to look like a fool for a second. Go over and follow Chizz on Twitch, and then at Chizz Coyote on Twitter. Obviously not related, but she's really cool. She posts this awesome stuff over there, so go check her out.
Thanks.
Is there anything that you would like to leave our listeners with as we head out today?
Do your best. Take care of yourselves and each other. That's all I got.
Oh my goodness. You're so nice for someone who is supposed to be a little bit of a villain. Like, I do it all the time. I get it. I am the same way. It's so hard for me to be mean, but listen. And as always, as far as my side of things go, you have to like, you have to comment, and you have to subscribe, or I will be very angry with you. And you don't really want to see my angry side. I'm not really showing it right now, but I'm so angry. Absolutely just seething. Oh God, and my arm's out here. And as always, we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. I don't know how to end this, actually. For the video, it'll end right there. But I don't know. YouTube is such a weird creature to me as a former Twitcher. I guess you could call it that.
Yeah.
Do you raid? Like, you raid out on Twitch.
Weird.
Do you raid anybody else out on YouTube? Like, do you post the link of where you're going in chat, or?
No, I don't.
You just end it.
Like a raid. There's a raid like thing you can do on YouTube, but I've never done it.
Yeah, I'm very new to this. Here, I'm gonna hit the ending screen, and we'll just say, "Hey, we did it. That's a wrap. Good job, everybody.
We did it.
Yeah, we did
Yay.
it." Have a good one, everybody, and take care.
Bye.
Me and the goons love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu. We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu. We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love you, Irisu.
And what?
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.
We love Irisu.